Oh hello there, my name's Professor Hoenn. It's time for another Pokemon Challenge video, and for our 6th solo challenge we're using yet another pseudo dragon Pokemon. This time it's Goomy, which is considered the weakest dragon Pokemon, and it's not hard to see why. The average value for any given stat across all Pokemon is between 66 and 75, and guess what? Every single one of Goomy's stats, except its special defense, is well below this number. Just look at it! Its speed, defense, and HP are abysmal, so chances are we won't be outspeeding many mons. And physical Pokemon will take advantage of our terrible defenses to knock us out in just a few attacks. Not ideal for prolonged battles against the Elite Four and later rival battles. There's not much difference between its attack and special attack stats. However, its level up and TM moveset is more suited to a special build, as it has a bit of diversity, including moves like Thunderbolt, Muddy Water, Sludge Bomb, and Dragon Pulse. It also gets access to Double Team and Substitute. Why do I get the feeling I'll need these once again? As we're playing Generation 6, the Dragon typing now has an extra weakness, the Fairy typing, adding to its other weaknesses of Ice and Dragon, so I imagine we'll struggle against Valerie, Wulfric and Drasna. Goomy can have one of two abilities, either Sap Sipper, which makes it immune to grass type moves, or Hydration, which heals status conditions in the rain. Both of these are quite situational, so depending on which one we get, I don't think we'll use it much in this run. So, what are the rules? I can only use Goomy for battle. I will, however, need some HM slaves, but I won't use these in battle. When fighting other mons, I can't use Held, Status, Battle, or Healing items, so that means no potions, but I can use them outside of battle, and I am allowed to teach Goomy TMs. And finally, no glitches or exploits. As usual, I'm recording this section before I even start the challenge, and honestly, I'm not sure if this will be doable. With its terrible speed stat and weakness to the Fairy type, hitting level 100 might not be enough to get us through this game, but we'll see how far we can get. With all that being said, let's find out if we can beat Pokemon X with just Goomy. Heading out of our house, our rival asks us if we've left a like. What a strangely fourth wall breaking question to ask. Oh Serena, you do crack me up. My rivals want to call me Little H. How did they know that's what my girlfriend calls me? For once, we use a randomization tool that isn't the universal Pokemon randomizer to replace Fennekin with Goomy, which I think will give us the most difficult challenge. My daughter asked me to call it Goomy Boom, so there we have it. Our nature means we have a raised special attack, which is perfect, but we do have lowered speed, not ideal when we're already so slow. So for the second challenge video in a row, we'll probably need to EV train our Pokemon. And for its ability, we got Hydration, which will cure Goomy of Burn, Poison, Paralysis, Sleep and Freeze at the end of the turn, as long as it's raining of course. The first rival battle couldn't go any worse. We get absolutely rolled over. Well, that was embarrassing. Let's not dwell on this and move on. After making our way through Ruvidian Forest, no, that's not an error, it's literally the same layout. We rock up at the entry of Santaloon City, and can't even get into the gym as we can't beat the trainer blocking the entrance. So we head east to battle the trainers and wild Pokemon, but we come close to fainting several times because of our low stats and weak moveset. At level 11 and with no trainers left to grind against, I take on Violet. I doubt I'll beat her, but at least we can get an idea of how close we are to claiming the first badge. We make it past Surskit. I use Absorb to minimise our HP loss from the damage we take. Vermilion is her second Pokemon, and we do so little damage that after 4 attacks it still has half its HP left, and we even got lucky with a critical hit and Vermilion wasting its first 2 turns using Harden. I start my EV training early this run, taking on Wild Pidgey and Fletchling on Route 3, which both give 1 speed EV when defeated. At level 13 I try again with Bide, but it doesn't bring us any closer to victory. At this rate, I don't think we'll beat Viola until we learn Dragon Breath at level 18, so now I start adding the Litleo and Psyduck to the list of Pokemon I'm hunting, as both of these give 1 special attack EV. Basically, I'm going for a special attack and speed build. Okay, I'm the first to admit when I'm wrong. We actually net the bug badge at level 17 after a few attempts. Surskit goes down to a few attacks and isn't a threat. On our winning attempt, we spam Bubble, while Vermilion uses a mix of Tackle and Harden in the early stages of the battle instead of Infestation, meaning we don't take damage at the end of every turn. To progress, we have to beat Professor Sycamore. Despite being outnumbered 3 to 1, we're able to win because we learnt Dragon Breath on the previous route. It doesn't one-shot his mons, but a couple of attacks each is enough for us to knock out each of the Kanto Pokemon. In order to progress the story, we have to deal with your mum who's blocking the road. I'm sorry, that was a low blow. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm sorry. Sorry. After a bit of a run around, we claim the Poké Flute and wake it up. To progress, you have to either knock it out or catch it. This thing is a powerhouse. It shrugs off our attacks, and even paralysed, we can do nothing to stop it from whittling down our health and knocking us out. So more grinding. I guess. 2 extra levels and we win. Barely, thanks to some critical hit luck and some terrible move choices by Snorlax. On Route 7 we have a double rival battle where I mistake Flabébé for a grass type rather than a fairy, which almost costs us the battle. I really don't know my later gens as well as I probably should. Woo! This Rhyhorn racing is thrilling! We make our way through Glittering Cave, dealing with the wild Pokemon and Team Flare members. At the end of the cave, we meet the missing scientist and claim one of the fossils. I'm hoping that if I don't tell you which fossil I took, you'll ask. After all, comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. After what seems like forever since I started this challenge, we can now take on Grant, the second Kalos gym leader, who embarrasses us more than Violet did. His Amora outspeeds us and lands takedown, knocking us out in a single hit. Wow, that was laughably bad. So we head along Route 12 to grind, and strangely we get further on the route than I expected, making it all the way to Lysandre Town before we're stopped from progressing. Even after battling all the trainers, we only go 1 level, but we do get to see our hydration ability in action. However, it doesn't cure sleep on the same turn that Yawn takes effect. That's useful to know. After plenty more grinding, once again against Pokemon that give special attack and speed EVs of course, we hit level 30 and we finally outspeed his Amora, which seems to have shifted its tactics. It now starts with Thunder Wave, probably because when we're paralysed, his Pokemon will be quicker than us. But we have a counter in Rain Dance that we learnt at level 25. When coupled with our hydration ability, it cures us of the status at the end of the turn. This happens 3 turns in a row while we manage to chip away at its health and knock it out. Tyrunt is a second Pokemon which is part Dragon, so a single Dragon Pulse takes it out, earning us the Cliff Badge. In Lysandre Town we chase down Team Flare who... Oh, what's this strange looking rock structure? Anyway, nothing suspicious here. In fact, I don't even know why I mentioned it. I doubt we'll be returning here in the future. Our next stop is Shallow City, where we'll challenge the 3rd gym leader, Karina, and... What? She's come to us. Perfect. Let's claim the Rumble badge. Here Lucario wrecks us. It's not even a contest. They resist our grass normal attacks, and Bubble is such a low power move that Lucario just shrugs it off. So guess where we're heading? Route 10 again. We try the battle every few levels, but it's not until level 38 that we win as we now have Muddy Water, a 90 power special attack. It doesn't have 100% accuracy, but we're able to connect and win. But I think here Lucario were taking it easy on us as they waste their turns using Swords Dance and Metal Sound, which lowers our special defense. This makes 0 sense as neither of her Lucario have a special damaging attack. We make our way through Reflection Cave and even the trainers in here pose a problem, despite us being 10 to 12 levels higher than them. But eventually we're able to get through to Shallow City. Before you can take on the gym, you have to beat your rival to claim the Mega Bracelet. Her Meowstic is out first. It uses Psybeam, which doesn't do a lot of damage as we paralyse with Dragon Breath. We trade attacks back and forth until the 4th turn, where we finally finish it off. Absol gets sent out next, and there's nothing we can do as it outspeeds us, landing Slash and finishing off what little HP we had left. A few more attempts confirms what I already knew. We'll need to be a higher level to beat Serena. Another 3 levels gives us our win, after a few tries of course. I know the Meowstic will use Light Screen, so I use Return to overcome its increased special defense. On the next turn it uses Disarming Voice, but it's not Stab, so it doesn't do much damage, as we land a critical return to finish it off. Absol comes in and uses Quick Attack rather than Slash, perfect for us as we land Return to bring it to half health. We found out on the next turn it used Quick Attack as we're now faster than it, so a second attack knocks it out. Her final Pokemon is Frogadier, which between its normal attacks and water attacks that we resist, it doesn't do enough damage to trouble us as we win the fight. With another hurdle overcome in this challenge, we're now clear to take on the 3rd gym, where we hit yet another roadblock. This time it's Karina's Hulucha, which is strong enough to knock us out in 2 attacks. We are 12 levels higher than her Pokemon and around 20 levels higher than the wild Pokemon, so grinding is so time consuming as we don't get much XP. And what's worse is that most of the Pokemon give attack and defense EVs such as Miltank, Tauros, Chatot and Pinsir. There are Mareep and Wingull horde encounters, but the odds of getting these are quite low. Eventually I just knock out whatever I come across in order to hit level 45 and try to beat the 3rd gym. Out of 24 attempts, yes, 24, we get to Hermachoke just twice, which survives Dragon Pulse and knocks us out. An extra level and a few more attempts and we get this run. Mindfu goes down to a single attack as normal, but not before landing Fake Out. Hulucha is out once more. It uses Home Claws to boost its attack and accuracy as we use Dragon Pulse. It comes close to knocking it out, but on the next 2 turns Karina uses a Hyper Potion to restore its health to maximum as we land another attack to bring it close to fainting. On the next turn, Karina has run out of healing items and attacks with Flying Press, which brings us dangerously close to losing again as we knock it out with another Dragon Breath. Machoke is out last and we land Dragon Pulse to one-shot it, claiming us the Rumble badge. The next stop is Core Marine City, which we can reach by travelling on Route 12. Remember in the intro when I said physical Pokemon will take advantage of our terrible defences to knock us out in just a few attacks? Well, we're 17 levels higher and we still struggle against the trainers as a random Zangoose nearly knocks us out. Goomy is so frail. Bizarrely, as we arrive at our destination, Serena pops up asking us to subscribe. I mean, I'm subscribed, so who could she be talking to? But in all seriousness, let's try and hit 100 subscribers before the end of the year. Before we can enter the 4th gym, Serena challenges us once more, and to nobody's surprise, we lose again. We've hit a bit of a snag here. The previous routes don't have many Pokemon that give special attack EVs. Yes, I could focus on increasing my physical attack stats and the damage I deal with return, but that would probably make it more difficult in the Elite Four when I need to rely on my special attacks. My original plan was to fly back to Route 10 and hunt for Sigilyphs and Houndour as they appear quite often, but you can't fly until you beat the 4th gym. And I can't get in there because of our rival, so after walking back and grinding for 10 minutes, I just think there must be a better way to do this. After a bit of research, I found out that you can force horde battles by using honey, but they're quite rare. There is an alternative method though. I go all the way back to Route 6 and catch an Oddish which learns Sweet Scent, which has the same function as honey. This isn't against the rules as we won't be using it in battle. With this addition to our team, which we call For the Horde, we head back once again to Route 12 and use Sweet Scent to get the Mareep Horde encounters, which we knock out by using Muddy Water to gain 5 special attack EVs and a nice bit of XP. Every now and again we come across this rather odd combination of Pokemon in a Horde battle. Why does this look so familiar? After plenty of training, we re-challenge Serena outside the grass gym. Even at level 51, we don't win on our first attempt. It takes 3 Dragon Pulses to knock out the Meowstic as it sets up Light Screen. Absol is now slower than us, and 2 attacks knocks it out as it comes close to knocking us out. Thankfully, we resist Frogadier's water attacks as we finish off the fight. Serena looks quite upset, despite obviously being a better trainer than us. Ramos is our next opponent in this challenge run, and we cut his Pokemon down to size on our first attempt. We don't knock out his Jump Pluff in a single attack, so he spams Hyper Potions to delay our victory. It eventually goes down as Go-Goat comes out. We land a critical Dragon Pulse, which it survives, retaliating with Bulldoze to lower our speed. On the next turn, Takedown leaves us. Okay, that was a terrible pun, I'm sorry. Anyway, its attack leaves us with just 3 HP as we knock it out. His final Pokemon is Weeping Bell, and a single attack seals our win, allowing us to claim the Plant Badge. I'll gloss over the Power Plant, which Team Flare has taken over. Our higher level means we make it through this part of the challenge without too much issue as we outspeed and knock out most mons in a single attack. Did I just see a giant? How long have I been doing this challenge for? I must be delirious. Apparently, he's bigger as a result of using the ultimate weapon 3,000 years ago, because that's what ultimate weapons do. Wipe out your opponents and make you taller. In the 5th gym, we challenge Clement. It only takes 4 attempts to win, and to be fair, we got unlucky on the first few attempts as we miss our attacks because of Magneton's Mirror Shot lowering our accuracy. Emolga is his first Pokemon. It lands Aerial Ace as we knock it out with Dragon Pulse. Magneton is out next, and I use Rain Dance as I predict it'll use Mirror Shot, which it does. We follow it up with Muddy Water, which it only survives because of its sturdy ability, and it uses Electric Terrain. Clement restores Magneton's health to full as we land back-to-back Dragon Pulses, causing it to faint. Outlast is Heliolisk. It takes a few turns as Clement uses yet more potions, but a few Dragon Pulses finishes the battle and we're given the Voltage badge and the TM for Thunderbolt, which we teach to Goomy. To progress the story, we have to visit a cafe, and this part of the challenge video probably took the longest because I'm sure everyone else has had the same issue of trying to track down this cafe. Why is there so many cafes in this one town? Why do the taxis not take you directly to the cafe? Why do all the streets look the same? Oh, here it is. After finding it, we get to meet Lysandre. Wow, he has such flair. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Hold up. Is Lysandre the leader of this coffee shop? Whoa, it's amazing! Route 14 is our next destination, and we have to tackle our rival once again. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but we win on our first attempt! But it's close. We win with just 4 HP, and it's thanks to a critical hit, and Greninja's final Water Shuriken only hitting us twice. But after the terrible time we've had against Serena previously in this challenge, I'm not going to complain. The 6th gym rolls around fairly quickly. Valerie's team has missed a mime. It outspeeds us to set up a light screen, meaning our special attacks are next to useless. 2 dazzling gleams are enough to knock out Goomy, so once again, we need to be a high level. Once more, we're back on Route 12, using horde encounters to reduce the Wingle and Mareep population. That is until I take a look at the super training option, where it turns out I've already gained 510 EVs, the maximum you can. So we can now take on any Pokemon that would normally give EVs we don't want, as they don't add to our total. So I backtrack through all the previous routes, taking out any trainers that we missed, including the trainers in the Fairy Gym. While we're there, we might as well take another shot at claiming the next badge. We get past her Mr. Mime, but only because of Paralysis luck. But the Sylveon finishes our run, as we do so little damage. At level 65, we're able to one-shot Mawile and get past Mr. Mime, which wastes his turn with Reflect, heightening her team's defense. But we still can't get past her Sylveon, as our special attacks do so little. So we replace Thunderbolt with Return and try again. This time we're able to take advantage of Sylveon's weaker defense stat to knock it out with 2 attacks. At the Pokeball factory oh my, they are some big balls. Anyway, we clear out the Team Flare members and wait, I recognise this woman in the holo clip. Yeah, this is a member of the Elite Four and apparently a member of Team Flare. We make our way through Route 15 and Frost Cavern, and even at level 67 we still get absolutely wrecked by Pokemon that are more than 20 levels lower than us. Which means we can't actually progress, as this section of the Frost Cavern you have to battle one of 2 trainers to complete the cave. Both specialise in fighting Pokemon, which take advantage of Goomy's terrible defense to knock us out. We finally get past them at level 77. This is madness. Is Goomy's defense so bad? With yet another hurdle passed, we make our way to the end of the Frost Cavern, once again beating the Team Flare Grunts and saving the Abomasnow. We make our way through Route 17 and our rival challenges us once more before we can get into the 7th gym, and for the 2nd attempt in a row, we win on our first attempt. The battle is slightly different. The Meowstic is out first but goes down to 2 attacks. His second Pokemon is now Greninja, which doesn't pose a problem as it also goes down to 2 attacks. She now sends out Absol third and it goes down to a single Dragon Breath. Serena has added a Flareon to her team, but it's not a threat as we're able to take it down with a couple of attacks. Olympia is the gym leader of Anastar City. I replace Return with Thunderbolt, which her first 2 Pokemon are weak to. Her last Pokemon is Meowstic, but it pretty much rolls over as we claim the 7th gym badge. That was the simplest battle we've had this entire run. As we head outside, we receive a holo clip and... what? Lysandre is the Team Flare boss and villain of this game? I did not see that coming! This challenge has been rough, so I decide to head to a local cafe to relax, kick back and treat Goomy Boom. We speak to this gentleman to place an order and he attacks us? Oh, how rude. I go full Karen and speak to the manager, who also attacks us. Not quite sure what's happening. I go to pick up a cup from the cabinet and what? It moves, revealing a secret passage, so of course we go in. And we find Lysandre waiting for us. His first Pokemon Mindfu goes down to a single Thunderbolt, as does Gyarados and Murkrow. His last Pokemon is Pyroar, which goes down to a single Muddled Water. Easy. We clear the labs and hey, it's AZ, how's it going? Oh, why the long face? We're challenged by the scientist who I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce its name, but he's not a challenge as we'd nearly double the level of his Pokemon. With that done, he gives us a choice. We can hit the red button and use the ultimate weapon. Tempting. Or we can use the blue button and deactivate the ultimate weapon. It's a pretty straightforward choice, and after much deliberation, we hit the red button. We make our way through Geosenge Town and beat Lysandre once again. Like the last battle, each of his Pokemon go down to a single attack. Working with Serena, we progress to the basement and awaken Xerneas. I attempt to knock it out as it uses Moonblast, which takes us from full health to fainting in a single attack. So, I use our Master Ball and call it Box, as that's where it'll spend the remainder of this run. Lysandre, now wearing whatever that is, challenges us for the final time. His Mind Shower is quicker, but uses Swords Dance, so we're able to take it down without taking any damage. Pyro uses Hyper Voice, but we comfortably survive and land Muddy Water, causing it to faint. Honchkrow is slower than us, so Thunderbolt knocks it out. Outlast is his Gyarados, which Mega Evolves. We're quicker, but it survives Thunderbolt and overcomes Paralysis to land Outrage, which we have no chance of surviving. I could level up, but at some point I'll need to sort out my EVs. What you're looking at now is me tapping the screen so Goomy hits the punch bag, which should eventually cause a reset bag to appear, which we can use to reset Goomy's EVs to 0. I do this for about 15 minutes, not realising that before this can happen, you have to do the tutorial and super training. With that done, we eventually get a reset bag and do some special attack and speed training, but it's a long-winded process, so for the 3rd time, we found ourselves back on Route 12, hunting Mareep and Wingle. Now that our speed and special attack stats are maxed, and with level 89, we challenge Lysandre again. Nice of him to wait around for us. The small talk between him and Shauna and Serena must have been quite awkward considering he's, I don't know, trying to destroy the world. Anyway, we get past his first few Pokemon and use Thunderbolt on his Mega Gyarados. It does more damage, but it still survives, and so knocks us out with Outrage once more. It's not until we hit level 95 that we're able to one-shot his Mega Gyarados with Thunderbolt. That amazes me. We maxed out our special attack and we still had to beat 42 levels higher in order to win. With that done, we make our way to Snowbell City. Professor Sycamore meets us and we make a mockery of him, gifting us the Pokedex, which isn't getting filled up, unlike my rival's mum. He's apparently not too happy with our obvious cheek and challenges us to a battle. His 3 Kanto starters are fully evolved and level 50, but we're able to comfortably win this battle. Some of our rivals ambush us just before we reach the 8th gym, and I have to beat them one by one without the opportunity to heal. But as we have a counter for most of their Pokemon, and we're a much higher level, we knock out most of their Mons in a single attack, clearing the way for us to reach the final Kalos region gym. After tracking down the gym leader and making our way through the gym puzzle, we take on Wulfric. A Bomb of Snow goes down to a single Dragon Pulse. We're unable to take out the Cryogonal in a single attack, and so it counters with Ice Beam. We survive, but we now have less than half our health, which means another Ice attack will probably knock Goomy out. Wulfric uses a Hyper Potion to try and stall us out while we continue to take damage from the hail, but after a few more attacks, we're able to knock it out. His final Pokemon is Avalugg, which has a terrible special defense, which we take advantage of by using Dragon Pulse to knock it out. And with that, we've beaten every gym in Kalos. Time to head for the Elite Four. We've barely stepped foot into Victory Road and we're challenged by the first Ace Trainer. You can't avoid this trainer, so you have to battle them, and her first Pokemon is Weavile, which is quicker than us, lands an Ice Punch, and knocks us out. Ice Punch is a 100% accuracy move, so there's no chance it can miss. So we hit level 100 and try again, only for the Ace Trainer to beat us in the exact same way. I try again, and this time we outspeed the Weavile, meaning we're speed tied, but Thunderbolt fails to knock it out, so another Ice Punch ends it for a 3rd time. It takes a few attempts, but finally we outspeed the Weavile, knocking it out with a Dragon Pulse. We make our way through Victory Road, but we come close to getting knocked out by several of the trainer's Pokemon here. As we approach the end, Serena challenges us for a final time. Meowstic outspeeds and lands Fake Out, flinching us. On the next turn we use Dragon Pulse, knocking it out. Greninja uses Water Shuriken, but it does very little damage as we land Thunderbolt, taking it out in a single attack. Her newly added Altaria is her 3rd Pokemon, but a single Dragon Pulse is all it takes to see it off, as well as her Absol. Flareon barely survives and retaliates with Bite. We land a final attack, winning us the battle. As with the previous generation, you get the choice of which Elite Four member to take on first, so we pick Draznith, the Elite Four member that specialises in Dragon-type Pokemon. We use Dragon Pulse, which is both super effective and stab, so it takes down both her Dragalge and Altaria with a single attack. But I do have a slight panic when her Noivern outspeeds us with a Dragon Pulse of its own, but we survive. 2 more attacks are enough to knock out both it and the Druddigon, clearing the first member of the Elite Four. We choose to take on Cybold next, who specialises in water Pokemon. The first few attempts we lose, so I replace Rain Dance with Substitute, but in our winning run we don't even need it. His first Pokemon, Klawitza, is dispatched with a single Thunderbolt. Starmie is his second Pokemon, which uses Light Screen as we set up a Substitute. Starmie attacks with Dazzling Gleam, breaking our Substitute as we use Thunderbolt. It doesn't knock it out because of the Light Screen, but we do paralyse it. Not that it matters because Cybold uses a full restore on the next turn as we put up another Substitute. We're back to square one. Dazzling Gleam breaks our Substitute as we bring it into the yellow with another attack. We exchange blows next round, but we survive and knock it out and are faced with Gyarados as a result. It's 4 times weak to electric, so Thunderbolt takes it down. His final Pokemon, Barbaracle, doesn't fare any better and we knock it out. With that, we're halfway through the Elite Four. Time for the Team Flare member Malva. Yes, apparently not only is she a member of the Elite Four, but she's also working for Team Flare. It's quite suspicious that both her and Lysandre have Pyros of the opposite gender. Perhaps they were a couple, which explains her cold reception when we arrived. This battle requires a specific setup and a lucky run. Let me break it down. Her first Pokemon is Pyro, which starts with Noble Roar, lowering our special attack. It also has Hyper Voice, which bypasses Substitutes, so we're guaranteed to be damaged by it. I could use Muddy Water to take it out in a single hit, but that means we'll have to take on her Talonflame without Substitute, which leads to us losing every time, as it's faster than us and uses Brave Bird, which takes us out in a single attack. But as it's part flying, we can use Thunderbolt, which is strong enough to one-shot it. But this setup usually means that by the time we reach her Torkoal, we've already lost health from Hyper Voice and setting up at least one Substitute. But Torkoal isn't an issue as it goes down to a single Muddy Water. Chandelure though has Confuse Ray, which is guaranteed to confuse us as it has 100% accuracy. On a few attempts we make it this far, but we either hurt ourselves in our confusion or miss with Muddy Water, and because of Pyro's noble roar, Muddy Water isn't guaranteed to take out the Chandelure. After a few failed attempts, we replace Substitute with Double Team. It takes a while, but we eventually get a lucky run where Pyro misses most of its attacks as we raise our evasion before going on the offensive, taking down Pyro, Talonflame, Torkoal and Chandelure in a single attack each. There's just one member of the Elite Four left, and it's Wikstrom. Klefki is his first Pokemon, a Steel and Fairy type. None of my moves can take it out in a single attack, meaning it's usually able to attack with Dazzling Gleam. We're faster though, so we can use our first Double Team before it attacks, but even so it takes a while before we can set up enough Double Teams to comfortably avoid its attacks. After setting up, I use 2 Thunderbolts to knock it out. His next Pokemon is Probopass. It survives Muddy Water because of its sturdy ability. Knowing Wikstrom will heal, I use Dragon Pulse on the next turn and follow it up with another Double Team while I can get the chance as it misses Flash Cannon. Now it no longer has full health, Sturdy won't work, so I use Muddy Water to knock it out. His third Pokemon is Aegislash. I've managed to get this far in a few attempts, so I know our attacks won't do anywhere near enough damage to knock it out while it's in its defensive stance, so I use Double Team, but it doesn't work as my evasion is now maxed. Thankfully, Aegislash switches stance and misses. Perfect! Now I can use Thunderbolt to take it out in a single attack. His final Pokemon is Sizzle, and a single Thunderbolt isn't enough to take it out, so it gets the opportunity to attack, but misses. One final attack is enough to finish the battle and the Elite Four. So that means there's just one more battle standing in our way between us completing this challenge, and that is Diantha. Her first Pokemon is Hawlucha, which goes down to a single Thunderbolt as it wastes its turn with Swords Dance. Aurorus goes down to a single Muddy Water, while Goodra and Tyrantrum both have the Dragon typing, so a single Dragon Pulse is enough to take down each of her Pokemon. Gourgeist also goes down to a single Dragon Pulse, which surprises me. Just one Pokemon left, and that is Gardevoir, which Mega Evolves, uses Moonblast, and brings us to just 1 HP. I don't think we're going to win this battle with a straight offensive, as our Thunderbolt did so little. On the next turn it goes first, and another Moonblast ends our run. Well, that was a battle of 2 halves, but I think we can win this. On our winning run, we knock out our first 4 Pokemon like last time, as trying to set up our double teams against any of these Pokemon will be difficult as they can likely knock out Goomy in a single attack, which leaves Gourgeist as our only chance to increase our evasion before Gardevoir. We eventually get a good run where we're able to set up several double teams while Gourgeist misses a range of moves. Thankfully, it uses Phantom Force, which is a 2-turn move, so we get to set up a free double team essentially. We use back-to-back Thunderbolts to bring it into the red as it lands Trick or Treat to give us the Ghost typing. Okay. You're probably wondering why I'm using Thunderbolt rather than just knocking it out straight away, and that's because I want Diantha to use her full restores here and not on her Gardevoir. After 2 more attacks, her Gourgeist goes down and Mega Gardevoir comes out. I use Thunderbolt and get lucky as we paralyse it, causing it to miss its turn. I switch to Muddy Water, hoping to lower its accuracy, but we miss. Thankfully, we avoid Moonblast. A single attack could end this run. Obviously I don't learn my lesson and try Muddy Water again, but our gamble pays off as we land a critical hit, knocking out Gardevoir, becoming the champion of Kalos and completing this challenge. Oh yeah, we beat AZ in the pre-credit scene too. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video then click here to watch another challenge video, or here to watch the full solo challenge playlist. I'm not sure what I'll do for my next challenge as I want to break from the pseudo-only challenges for a bit, so I'm thinking of either doing Pokemon Yellow whilst always poisoned, or Pokemon Red with only a Doduo. Let me know in the comments which one I should do next. Until next time, remember to flex your inner geek. See ya!